After the intense week of new cards that we just had last week, we now have something of a palette cleanser. Red Wolf Fractured Frontier is a 2-1 with on reveal +1 power for each card in your hand, and then he has a quick draw with give your hand +1 power. So if you, like a reminder on quick draw, if you draw Red Wolf and then play him on the same turn, or get him on the board on the same turn somehow, not only will he increase his own power by 1 for each card in your hand, but all those cards in your hand will get an additional 1 power. It's a pretty interesting card. I like the way that it has 2 different modes for himself, basically. You can either make himself get really big and then focus on that part of him, or, hope you draw him at the right time and spread out your power with those cards in your hand. Since it affects cards in your hand, that quick draw doesn't actually work on turn 6. You'll still do it, but you won't have the time to play any of those cards in your hand. So the main focus on Red Wolf is going to be that on reveal. And we've seen with some of the other quick draw cards, namely Jane and Psylocke, that's where you want to be focusing your card with. You want to be looking at their main on reveal and then view the quick draw as like a nice bonus. So in that regard, we have the type of deck that focuses exactly on that on reveal, proccing that on reveal many times, and having a full grip of cards in your hand to make that work. Surprise, surprise, that list is going to be a bounce deck. So the idea here is that Red Wolf takes advantage of this deck's natural need to play on reveals over and over again, as well as having multiple cards in the hand, so not just for him to be able to quick draw and make them better, but for himself to be able to grow multiple times. I got this list from Guapo, the top player that loves playing bounce. You'll remember him from when Boomerang came out. I was using the deck featured by him as well. At the time that Boomerang was releasing, we knew about this card through data mines, and even then he was more excited for Red Wolf than Boomerang. So went straight to him for this list as soon as this card came out and found out their thoughts on it. So the idea here is that all these cards are synergizing not just with Red Wolf, but of course with the new Thanos Fractured Frontier. Thanos fits naturally into bounce thanks to a couple of his stones, bullets, but the best one I'm finding is namely the time stone one, or the time shot, sorry. The idea here is that you have another way to reduce the cost of the cards in your hand. So the natural way that bounce does is through beast. You would go beast on turn 5, pick up a whole lane, and then suddenly have a bunch of 0 costs that used to be 1s. Thanos can do this while also, shooting a card on their side, copying something, growing a bunch of power, blah blah blah. So the way that these 2 new cards fit into bounce formulates themselves into this kind of list. We have Hood to add cards to our hand, as well as being a nice target to get multiple demons. Silver Sable is great right now because everyone is playing Thanos and they're all looking to quick draw. So you can know that they're going to be playing that card that they're picking up through the early game as much as possible. So anytime you can bounce Sable and get more procs, you're weakening the stuff that they're going to have to play, especially if they're already low cost things, they're already going to be naturally pretty weak. Hawkeye, you'll notice, is getting buffed today. So instead of being, a 1 that powers himself up to a 1-4, he becomes a 1-5, and then a 1-9, and all that power starts to accumulate and get even better now that he's getting an extra +1 every time he procs. Iceman is good right now, not only just for the information, but being able to hit key things that your opponents are trying to play on specific curves. Stuff like Wiccan Thanos lists love to be playing cards exactly at the right location. And anytime you can hit your opponent's Thanos and keep them from playing it on turn 5 is going to make your game a lot easier. Then we have the typical bounce cards, the package of Toxin, Falcon, and Beast. These are the ways that you're going to be able to pick up all your cards and do them again. The issue here that this is the point that you're going to need to, pay attention and make a note of here, is that you don't want to leave them in too many different locations, because that limits the places where you can play Thanos on turn 5 or 6. And let me explain why that is. So, because of the order of Thanos' bullets, the reality copy one is always the second one to go off. Meaning, if you play Thanos in a location with one of these copiers and they're the last one there because, you've just picked everything up, then Thanos will copy the beast, let's say, or the toxin, whatever, and then get picked up himself, and then won't fire any more shots, even though he has more shots to fire. So if you, in the middle of this sequence, bounce Thanos, he just stops everything. So you want to be careful where you're putting your bounce cards so that you're not stuck with the option of only being able to play Thanos in a lane with either Toxin or Beast. And then last up are the finishers, right? So these are the big guys that grow exponentially depending on what's been going on in the game. Sage and Hitmonkey are the ones that we're using in this list. So Sage is going to have a nice lot of different powers to play on, especially if your opponent's being hit by multiple Sables. So they're going to have the negative numbers while you have a bunch of the positive ones. So surely your Sage will be a nice at least 10 power card. Hitmonkey also is really great, not just with the typical Beast, make a bunch of zeros and play out your whole hand, but Thanos is able to, like I said before, help with that plan by not only making a bunch of 0-cost cards in your hand to play, but making Hitmonkey back to a 2-cost, which he used to be, years ago. And there's a reason he was nerfed to 3-cost, and the reason is being able to play Hitmonkey that cheap is very dangerous. So Red Wolf has a very clear and defined role in this deck. It's to be a big guy, and it works very well in that role. What I'm not sure of, and would require some more testing, is it better than the card we just got last month that does that? That's right, Boomerang. So Boomerang already is a 2-cost card that scales in a bounce deck, and can be the big beater of a 2. And Red Wolf fits that similar role. And I thought it'd be less awkward than it ended up being. Not because I was trying to get the quick draw off. That was just, that'd be a nice cherry on top. But just the idea that you have to keep playing him, and him being a 2-cost, at the same time, this is a very heavy, Thanos meta. I just want to play Thanos and play those cards more than I want to focus on powering up this guy. Especially because, if it comes down to a turn 5 of where I play Beast and Red Wolf together to, make him a 1-cost on the final turn, just to be a nice big 1/10+ card, I would rather play the Thanos and then, not do that. So what happens now is that we kind of wait and see, where this would pop up, if anywhere else. If you're looking to decide whether you want to buy this card, I would hold off personally. If you already have it and you're looking at what to do with it, it's going to be in a bounce list. Now, is it going to be this exact 12? I'm not sure yet. You can take some liberties with this list yourself. Let me know what kind of substitutions you were making, what things you found out to make more sense, make work. But what I have here is a couple games where I show off some Red Wolf gameplay. More likely it's going to be focusing on the bounce stuff that is happening and how that can still win games in this heavy Thanos metagame. If you have any questions, feel free to leave comments and let me know how your missions are going to be going this weekend. But this is the deck that I'm going to be playing to win those and to get me those extra tokens for playing Red Wolf. Until the next video, I'll see you guys later. Alright, 1-cost and a bouncer. What else do I need? Red Wolf, cool. Alright, didn't get the quick draw Red Wolf, but that's okay. We're just gonna start loading up our Thanos bullets. Oh, we might as well for the quick draw. Oh wait, that's a problem because we're not playing it there. We're gonna lose out on the quick draw, but that's fine. So we'll pick up Hawkeye, and we'll end up bouncing it all again later. I had to play on this location even though Hawkeye was over there, just because of how the honor wheel works. That's interesting. I think, well, I'm not going to get the quick draw anymore to power up the rest of my hand, so might as well play it out here. So I'm hoping that the Great Web here moves one of their cards away. That's probably fine, actually. Let's just bounce all this back to my hand, and then we can use Falcon to pick up this demon and play it somewhere else if I'm not going to win this vault location. Or if I'm lucky, they'll start moving this stuff away, and then I can still have a chance to win that location. Destroy, okay.
Taking aim.
Alright. I'm not going to play the Falcon. I'm going to trust that we can still win this location by the stuff moving. It's too bad I didn't get the... Well, I'm glad I didn't get the copy, actually, because that would copy Toxin, and I wouldn't get to play the rest of my bullets. So I do this. I can destroy whatever shenanigan they're trying here. Hopefully, what they're doing is they're playing something and I can destroy their merge symbiote with it. Oh, I just destroyed a rock. They got me. Okay, so I am not winning vault. I need to win left. Sage does that. This. I gotta play out basically my whole hand, which is pretty nice. Don't want to play out Falcon. But this looks pretty doable. We have the most unique numbers here. So Sage makes sense. And then Hawkeye, Sable, and Hitmonkey win this one. This also conveniently locks this up for us.
Taking aim.
There we go. Alright, another Thanos gamer. I mean, what else, right? Let's see. Looks like just Sable right now. So we'll go ahead and play it here. We don't want to commit it to X-Mansion because I don't want to pick up whatever it spawns, right? Like, we want to keep whatever's here. Especially if it's something weird. Like, I don't know, something really high cost that I don't want to pick up and try and play again. So we'll just go Sable here, start hitting what's on top of their deck. They're gonna have to, if they're drawing quick draw stuff, they're gonna have to play it. Yellow Jacket Wasp? Wasp. Oh, High Evolutionary. Okay, cool. Haven't seen that in a while. Okay, so they have 3 bullets already then. Let's play this down here so we can pick them up. Oh, I like that. I like the free value there. Okay, so let's go ahead. We're gonna pick this up early. We're gonna hope we draw like Toxin or something to do it again. But otherwise we want this stuff now. Nice quick draw bonus there off of that Iceman. Hopefully we can disrupt a little bit of their plans. Maybe hit like their, I don't know, it's a high deck. What do they got? Thing? Cyclops? Enchantress. Okay, cool. Mockingbird, nice. Oh, that was good timing. Look at that. Played that perfectly. And there's the Toxin. Okay, so we haven't really seen Red Wolf or Thanos yet this game, but we're just gonna keep going like we need to. We're going to double up the power there. We want Sable to come back. Toxin to quick draw, give us 3 cards in hand. And let's go ahead and play out the Iceman, just so we can keep up priority and just hit one of their cards again. Alright, cool. So hitting the Thanos was huge. They're not going to be able to play it this turn now. And there's my own Thanos. Okay, so I can do a couple things here. I can Beast. No, you know what? I don't need to Beast because Thanos has the green stone. So this is why he works so well in these bounce lists, because he's going to just reduce my entire hand just by himself. I have the copy stone, but there isn't really anything I want to copy or kill. Actually, it's the Killmonger I want to get rid of, because if they have their 6-cost Thanos, so they can play it on the final turn, and since I have priority, they'll go after me, and they can copy Killmonger and kill all these 1-costs. So we're just going to go ahead and stop that from happening right now. Okay, no target means that their hand is full of 6-cost cards. So there's the Thanos already hit, probably Hulk, and She-Hulk, I guess that's what this deck runs. So they only played Boomerang so they can drop a She-Hulk. But I got the Red Wolf. Alright, so I got something big here. Move of Thanos. So let's focus on, looks like these 2 lanes here. So I'm not going to, obviously not move in the middle. So we got 12 power against that one there. We can make the hood into a demon. So this kind of solves that problem here. And then we can actually, we don't even need to play out the beast because we have the hit monkey, but we're going to have the Red Wolf here for some extra big power. And then let's just finish this up here with a little extra points. So this hit monkey is 1, 2, 3, 4 cards. So plus 8, so 11. This lane's secure. This lane is backed up by the Red Wolf here. It's not as big with only the 2 cards here. Oh, 3 because of hood actually. But this should do it. Victory. Big explanation, no payoff.
Destiny will arrive.
Okay, so they're playing double Thanos. That means they got a bunch of stones they're going to play out. They're going to draw a lot of cards. Let's start off by getting Hawkeye bigger. So if you're watching this today, you already know about the OTA, and Hawkeye is getting buffed. This is filming before that, so you're going to see a 4-power Hawkeye, but when you're playing this deck later, it's going to be 5. Oh, nice hit. Nice job. They will no longer be wickening us. Okay. So what we want to do is we want to spread out our power a little bit. This vault here with Strange is probably done. Like, we're not winning this one. But Strange is going to pull other cards away from their locations. So we should have a better chance in winning the sides. Okay, they're changing up the quick draw orders. I could go for losing the hood here. Wouldn't really mind too much. Um, gotta do a quick check here. I don't have the soul shot, so that's fine. I would like to pick up Hawkeye again, though. Thinking and thinking. Yeah, you know what? Let's get some more information. Okay, Mary Jane. Okay, so they're trying to move some stuff around with Strange Supreme. I don't know what they're doing. Okay, now they're super not playing Wiccan. We're not going to worry about the stage quick draw. We're just going to go ahead and play out our Thanos. We don't have the destroy one. So what we have is a copy that isn't going to get any value, a movable that we're not really caring about, a power, but we have the mind, or not the mind, the time, which is going to make all these 1s zeros. So that we want to happen. So let's just go ahead and stake out a spot here. Red Wolf. Okay, cool. So we're going to move Thanos just because we don't want to leave Thanos alone. If they play their Thanos here, their soul shot will destroy it without any protection because they have priority. Okay. What we do need, though, is a way to win this one because we've given up middle. So this is here. It looks like we have the most unique numbers here, so we're just going to go out and Sage. And then we're going to drop a whole bunch of stuff here. This Red Wolf is going to do absolutely nothing. Watch this. We're going to... okay, so Hawkeye. Iceman for some extra power. Demon. 4 power Sable. And look at that. An empty hand. Red Wolf. Ooh, they caught us. They caught us playing too much. I think we just threw. Oh.
Taking aim.
And there's the absolutely no value